Hello, everybody. My name is Dabo Etela, and today I'm going to be talking to you about. I'll demonstrate to you how to deploy WHM Cpanel on your own server. So, what is WHM Cpanel? So, WHM is web hosting manager made by the company Cpanel that allows you manage and resell websites websites or website accounts. All right, so you can create accounts with them, you multiple cpanel accounts. You can then use cpanel to manage your emails, manage your database, and do all those kinds of things now. All right, so why would you want to use WHM? So there are situations where you have a website to build for probably a very large corporation, a very large organization, and the organization wants it on a dedicated server. Then check the cost of it having a dedicated server, and it's kind of steep. So you may decide that, okay, so why don't you um, get your own machine, deploy WHM cPanel, and build the website on that machine without having to go through a hosting company or a hosting provider. Another situation could be where you're not conversant with Linux commands and you have to deploy an app on a Linux machine. So you could then deploy cPanel on that machine and deploy your web app. That way, you don't have to go through the Linux commands to have to maybe create databases or manage your storage or your file systems. You could use cPanel to do all of those kinds of things. So cPanel is a very useful tool when it comes to managing of websites, managing of database. It's not free. For a single account could cost you about $15 a month, but yeah, it's a good application. That's what lots of web hosting companies use. You could there's a trial version, so I'm sure you could try out the trial version, look at it, see if it works for you, and yeah. So I'm going to show you how to deploy your WHM cPanel. But a few things you need to know is that system requirements for you to deploy WHM, and this also depends on the kind of load you want to put. But what they say is minimum system RAM should be 1 gig. They recommend 2 gig. So if you can make it higher or much more, better. Minimum disk space 20 gig. They recommend 40 gig. That's fine. It depends on how many sites you're going to be loading up. You may require more, but that's what cPanel says. And in terms of processor, a 1.1 gigahertz processor should be okay. But as far as you can fire it up, as much as you can fire it up, please do. And it then also requires CentOS 7 or Red Hat Linux 7. All right, so there's CentOS 8 too, but it's still very much experimental. So if you're going to be deploy on a CentOS 7 machine. All right, so over here I have um, my virtual machine that I've already created in IBM Cloud. I love IBM Cloud. IBM Cloud, they give me 1,000 credits every month to use for what I want. All right, so I use that. I use IBM Cloud. It's easy, straightforward, simple to use. Not too much of a big deal. I could probably do a walkthrough video one of these days on IBM Cloud. So I've already created my virtual machine on um, IBM Cloud. You can create your virtual machine using VMware or VirtualBox, or you can use any other cloud hosting provider like GCP, AWS, Azure, and all of that. So it's up to you, it's your preference. If you rather want to deploy it on your local system, you use that doing VMware or vPlayer or VirtualBox. So, and if you look at um, the size of this machine, I have a two virtual CPU, all right, and I have a 4 gig RAM. I have CentOS 7 installed minimal, and I think I have about let's say storage. Let me see my storage. I have about 40 gig of storage here. So this is fine for what we want to do. All right, so what are we going to do first? Here, we need to first look at prepare your machine. You could deploy it on the cloud or on your local hypervisor. You need to check the minimum requirements when you're creating the machine. In terms of RAM, storage space, processor, and you need to also have a friendly qualified domain name. All right. So next thing we are going to do is to go into to SSH into our virtual machine. All right, so here I am going to SSH into the IBM Cloud VM that I just did. So this is it. We're going to SSH into that. I'm going to SSH as root. SSH as root 159.122. Okay, so I have now it has asked me for password. I put in password. Now we are logged into the machine. So you see that I put quite a few. These are just the steps. These are the 4 steps for you to deploy WHM. All right. I've already set the host name already, but just in case you want to do that, this is how you do it. This is the command you enter. I'm going to put in that command. All right, hostname has been set. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to install Perl because WHM is built using Perl. So I'm going to install Perl. All right, it shouldn't take a minute. Okay, so it's yes. There's a yes there. All right, so that's complete now. The next thing I'm going to do is to install coil. Yum install coil. All right. Yes. All right, so that is done. And now I am going to install cPanel itself. This is the command to install cPanel. When you must always go refer to the document, the installation guide from cPanel's website. If you go to docs.cpanel.com/installation guide /install, you see it, and this is the command here. So we're going to enter that command, and this is going to actually take a while. All right, so you can decide to watch this, go through this, or you could skip forward to when the installation is done, because this will take a bit of a while now. All right, so I will catch you soon once this is done. All right. Okay, so we have the installation complete now. All right. So what are we going to do next? What we are going to do next is to go to our URL, go to the sorry. So we're going to the IP address. We'll open a new tab. We'll put HTTPS. Sorry. Then we're going to put colon 2087 for WHM, and there is 2083 for cPanel. All right, so let's come to advanced. We proceed because there is no SSL. That's why we're seeing this error message, but we proceed. Let's just give this a bit of time. It's coming up. Okay, so we have successfully installed WHM. All right, so this is the login screen of WHM. All right, so now we're going to log in using root or whatever credentials you used in accessing your Linux machine. Let me get my password. All right, so I'm putting my password here. I'm logging in. Ta-da! We have successfully installed WHM Cpanel. We accept the license agreement, agree to all. If you want to print it, you print it. All right, so get started with a free cPanel trial. All right, so you're going to have to sign up, have an account with cPanel so that you'll be able to request for a license, a 15-day trial license. All right, so now we are activating a trial license. Thank you for authenticating your cPanel store account. We're activating your new 15-day trial license. Beautiful, we've been granted. So let's go and set this up. You can then put your contact email. I'm going to put that. If you have your name servers, you put all those details here. Your name server 1, you put your name server 2, and you set up your account. Aha. So right now, this is what cPanel is. You can come here. You can change the root password. You can do a whole lot of things. You can start creating packages which you probably want to sell as as web hosting packages to customers. You can create cPanel accounts. You can do all of those kinds of things here right now. So you took note that we put 2087. If you want to log into cPanel, not WHM cPanel, you have to put in 2083. But for WHM is 2087. So this is you probably want to see how cPanel looks, so this is cPanel, which is different from WHM. Okay, we do not have any cPanel. We've not created any accounts yet. So maybe in another video, I'll show you how you can set up a an account so that for use in cPanel. So please, if this video has helped you in any way, please subscribe to this channel, like, share, comment below, tell us what other kinds of videos you want. I'll teaching a lot of videos on enterprise applications, cloud deployment, and all those kinds of stuff, CRM, ERPs, virtual machines, clouds. So I'll do a lot of how-to videos on that. So if you want to see more of those kinds of videos, please comment, tell us what you want to learn about, what you want to know about, and we'll do a demonstration of how this can be done. So until then, see you in another video. All right, thank you.